Hi, I'm physician, and I want to start today's video with an apology in advance to my patients who've heard me say this 100 times. Because I'm about to say it again. Not because I'm repeating myself for no reason, but because in the 30 years of practicing medicine, I have never seen a simple habit with this much evidence behind it for protecting your brain as you age. Now, before I go further, let me be straight with you. You may have seen headlines claiming one movement can slash dementia risk by 80%. I want to be honest with you because that's not what the research really shows, and I'd rather give you the real numbers than a number that sounds exciting but isn't true. What the research does show is still remarkable. Multiple long-term studies have found that regular physical activity, done consistently over years, is associated with a meaningfully lower risk of developing dementia. Some studies show reductions in the range of 30 to 45% for people who stay consistently active compared to those who are sedentary. That's not a gimmick. That's one of the most powerful evidence-backed tools we have, and most people don't know it. So let's talk about what that movement actually is, because it's simpler than you'd think. It's walking, specifically brisk walking done regularly for about 30 minutes most days of the week. I know, after a headline like that, you might feel a little let down. Where's the secret? Where's the trick? But here's the thing, walking isn't boring because it doesn't work. Walking is underrated because it's not flashy. It doesn't require equipment, a gym membership, or anything you don't already own. And that's exactly why so many people skip right past it looking for something more complicated. Let me explain what's actually happening in your brain. When you walk, when you engage in aerobic movement like brisk walking, your heart rate increases, and that improves blood flow throughout your body, including to your brain. Better blood flow means your brain is getting more oxygen and more nutrients delivered to it consistently. Over time, this is linked to the growth of new blood vessels in the brain and to supporting that older adults who walked regularly for a year actually showed an increase in hippocampal volume, while those who didn't walk regularly showed the hippocampus continuing its natural age-related shrinkage. That's worth sitting with for a second. Your brain at 60, 70, 80 years old can still grow. Walking also helps regulate blood sugar and blood pressure, and both high blood sugar and high blood pressure are connected to increased dementia risk when left unmanaged over the years. So when you go for your daily walk, you are doing double duty, protecting your cardiovascular system and protecting your brain at the same time, because those two systems are far more connected than most people realize. Your brain is, after all, one of the most blood vessel dense organs in your entire body. Now, I want to give you something practical, because I know watching a video about walking doesn't help you if you don't know how to actually make it a habit that sticks. Here's what I recommend to my patients. Start where you are. If you're not currently walking regularly, don't aim for 30 minutes on day 1. Aim for 10. Walk to the end of your driveway and back. Walk around your living room during a commercial break. Walk to your mailbox. The goal in the beginning isn't distance, it's consistency. Your body and your brain respond to regularity, far more than they respond to intensity. Once 10 minutes feels easy, which usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks, add another 5 minutes. Build slowly. There's no rush here. This is not a race, and there is no finish line. This is a lifelong habit you're building, one that compounds in value the longer you keep it up. I also want to mention pace, because pace matters more than people think. A slow stroll is better than nothing, but a brisk pace, one where you care, is where you start to get the cardiovascular benefits that translate to brain benefits. You don't need to power walk like you're racing somewhere. Just pick up the pace enough that you notice your breathing change a little. If walking outside isn't accessible to you because of weather, mobility concerns, or where you live, that's completely fine. Walking in place at home, using a treadmill, or even marching in your chair while you're watching this video counts. The movement is what matters, not the scenery. One more thing I want to add, because I think it's important. Walking with a purpose, whether that's walking with a friend, walking your dog, or walking to a destination like a coffee shop or a park bench you enjoy sitting at, seems to add an extra layer of benefit. Social engagement and mental stimulation are also independently linked to lower dementia risk. So when you combine walking with conversation or a change of scenery, you may be stacking benefits on top of each other. I know it's tempting to look for a silver bullet. Believe me, if there were a single miracle exercise that erased 80% of dementia risk, I would be telling every single one of my patients to do it every single day, and I'd be doing it myself. But real prevention, the kind backed by decades of research, tends to look boring on the surface and powerful underneath. Walking is exactly that. So here's my ask for you today. Pick a time tomorrow, morning, afternoon, evening, whenever works for your schedule, and commit to just 10 minutes of brisk walking. Not because it's exciting, but because it's one of the most well-supported things you can do for your brain, starting today, at any age. If this video was helpful, let me know in the comments how you plan to fit walking into your day. Thank you.